Everyone in the region is shouting, go Delta. Premium gasoline in a fully stocked C-store. So there's only one place you should be. Delta Petroleum, baby.
Every day we're faced with choices. To spend or to save. To delay or to stay on track. It's discipline that shapes our future. Because discipline means making the choice today that pays off tomorrow. Remember, discipline, choice, pays. A message from the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Have you heard that Mind, Body, and Soul is back?
Yes, Mind, Body, and Soul is back on Sundays at 4 p.m. only on Freedom FM, hosted by the inspiring Julie Charles. This is your go-to show for thought-provoking and uplifting conversations. Every Sunday, dive into topics that nourish your mind, body, and soul. From wellness tips to personal growth to deep conversations. Julie brings you the stories that inspire change and spark reflection. Don't miss out. Tune into Minds, Body, and Soul on Sundays at 4 p.m. and let Freedom FM guide you to a more balanced and inspired life. Minds, Body, and Soul on Freedom FM Sundays at 4 p.m.
What if your money did more than sit in an account? What if it built dreams, supported families, and empowered futures? At St. Kitts Credit Union, we're more than a financial institution. We're a family that believes in your potential, rooted in people helping people. Enjoy competitive savings rates and low-interest loans for mortgages, vehicles, education, and more. Need security for you or your loved ones? The Family Indemnity Plan and Loan Protection Insurance give your loved ones peace of mind, whether you're saving for school, building your business, or planning for tomorrow. SKCU is here for you. It's not just about banking, it's about belonging. Contact us at 465-2272 or any of our branches. Learn more online at www.skccu.com. Become a member today and be a part of something greater.
It's 1:38 right here in the studios of Freedom FM, and you heard the song, so it's Hot Topics Live. It's a regular Hot Topics Live with Nubian in the building, because last week we did have Hot Topics, but Nubian was not here. So Nubian, I think it's fitting for me to say welcome back.
Right.
Because you were sick.
I would accept it this week. Because I was out for last week. So
Yes, you were
thank you
sick.
very much
So
for
how are
having me
you
back.
feeling now?
Much better. They say it was COVID. They call it all kind of different thing. Homecoming, what's not and what's
They
not. But it
drop
mashing up
it.
people. Yeah,
Yes.
it mashing up people all around St. Kitts and
But
Nevis.
not just St. Kitts and Nevis, because I am seeing reports out of the US and the UK about it being a very difficult flu season this time around. So, once they have it,
Right. Yeah.
once they have it, we are going to get it inevitably. But we're happy to have you back. Last week we had a
definitely.
very spirited show,
I know. My
even though
guest
you
got
weren't
here.
here.
Yeah, I had my guest all arranged and everything, but my
Yes.
guest got here and I was unfortunately unable to.
Yeah, we
to come
missed
through.
you. And we had another guest who popped by the studio, Mr. Snideman Warner,
Okay.
and who was able to give his perspective as well.
Right.
So we had a good show.
I know.
We had a good show.
I know.
So hot topics. What are the hot topics for this afternoon?
Well, the hot topics that continue to plague us is the deportee issue that we
Yes.
are facing and still on Trump's naughty list. And there is the...
I don't even know if it's a naughty list at this point. I think Trump to just wake up and do stuff.
Right. At some point in time, we need people who could stand up and defend the dignity of St. Kitts and the dignity of the Kittitians and Nevisians living in the Federation.
I kind of grapple with that because I understand that, because I too I remember on groundings the question was asked, what would you do as a prime minister? And I think, what I would do. But at the end of the day, would that be what the electorate want? I think you have to kind of balance a lot of things. Well, you should know as a politician.
We can't assume what the electorate want. I believe what should have been done is that we sensitize the nation as to, hey, this is the dilemma that we are facing. These are the options.
So you have an open conversation.
Correct. I mean, some wouldn't like it. And even if you chose both, both options, there are some that might not like it, but at least we knew
Because
and we understand what is at stake.
we have seen leaders in the past stand up for the U.S.
Correct.
One such leader is Maduro. No, I am not defending his policies in any way or form. I don't believe in a lot of things that he did. But at the end of the day, he was strong in standing up against the U.S. And I do understand the premise behind the administration when they took over in '98 and they nationalized the oil industry and all of that. I don't have a problem with that. But, whenever you have these socialist governments and whatever, a little bit of corruption tends to creep in.
Correct.
And does not necessarily trickle down to the people on the ground.
Right.
But you see what happened to him.
Yeah.
When he decided to stand up, you look at countries like Cuba. Cuba has been standing up to the U.S. since, 1958?
Right.
Look at the situation Cuba is in. I don't think anybody could look at that and feel like that's the best position to be in. Right?
So, well, you see, it's our mindset.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not good. It's not, because we know that the Cuban government, they use the excuse about the embargo and the blockade and that. But me, I really think the people want to hear about the embargo when they're suffering.
And
I understand that it was necessary.
Being poor does not give the rich the right to trample over you. And I look at it like this, like my house is next to your house. And in order for your children and yourself and your family to come over into my yard to visit my family, I have to be able to put my garbage in your yard. So you need permission to enter my yard, but me and my children don't need permission to enter yours. Americans are able to visit St. Kitts at their leisure and pleasure. without any restrictions at all. As a matter of fact, we welcome it and we beg them to come. For us to get there, remember, St. Kitts don't have any raw materials. So everything we purchase comes from America.
Yeah.
Or most, 90% of what we purchase come from America. We go to vacation in America. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe millions or probably billions of dollars a year. In America, it doesn't benefit us when we go to America to purchase.
So you're saying that these are points of negotiation.
Correct.
So these are things that when Trump decides to come to the Caribbean with his big stick, we tell them, listen, we'll just look for other trading partners. We'll decide that we're going to other territories to spend our money.
Listen, when I travel to the United States, I spend thousands of US dollars in hotels, in Uber, in Lyft, in the mall, shopping, doing a lot of extravagant things. Going, probably not even extravagant, but going to the zoo or going to Disney World. All those things cost a lot of money, especially when you have a big family like mine. And so you spend a lot of money out there. Money that I'm sure the tourists, when they come down here, they don't spend that kind of money. And I'm not the only person. There are a lot of people here who go to America and spend a lot of money. But when it comes to negotiation, we always get the dirty end of the stick. And the question is, why? Why is it that we can't sit to the table and say, hey, listen, remember our purchase comes from America, and it seems as though you are affording me the pleasure of purchasing stuff from America. We could get them out of China, we could get them out of Europe. And he's fighting with them. But we need to be able to have a seat at that table and put our positions clear, because America have more surface area than us down here. If they wanted to build a concentration camp, they could build it up there. Because at the end of the day, when we accept, and I'm this ain't a Haitian thing or Caribbean thing or Commonwealth or CARIFORUM or nothing. When we accept these people, we don't know how much we're getting. At this point in time, it hasn't been revealed, or probably they don't even know. We don't know how much persons we are getting. We don't know if it's all old people. We don't know if it's all young people. We don't know what the nationalities are. We don't know if they could fit into our workforce. We don't know the cultural difference. I mean, if they're from the Caribbean, it's easy to fit in.
Yeah, he did say they're from CARICOM.
But we still don't know which CARICOM country is not accepting their nationals. My
thing is, right, and I'm not for the policy. I'm not necessarily against the policy either, but I have some questions, as is the right of everybody who lives here, because I'm seeing people kind of talk down against people who have questions, like you ain't supposed to ask, you ain't supposed to get an opinion, you're supposed to just accept everything. Anyway, one of my major questions has to do with the fact that St. Kitts and Nevis chose not to sign on to CARICOM free movement.
Correct.
Right? That's a policy put forward by CARICOM for people to just come here to work, people from CARICOM.
Our neighbors.
We said that we did not have the capacity for that, right? That was when, last year or maybe the year before.
Right.
But I think it was the year before. But now you're telling me that, and again, I understand the geopolitics of the situation, because I understand that we're placed in a position that there is a man in the White House and nobody really wants to offend him.
Right.
So now you're telling me that we are going to accept people who may have been deported. Well, not may have been, people who were deported from the United States, CARICOM nationals. But why we couldn't accept the people from the CARICOM member states who just wanted to come? Right? Like, why? Mm-hmm. I don't, there seems to be a disconnect with that.
Right.
Now, in regard to the Haitian issue, and I know a lot of people up in arms about this, and I know what I am going to say is not necessarily the popular idea, but guess what, Minky? Because regardless of whatever administration is in office at the time, I will stand, and I will choose to stand with the people of Haiti, because I understand why Haiti is where it is today. Now, if you come to us and you tell us that you're taking CARICOM nationals, but not Haitians, well, Haiti is a part of CARICOM, and of course, Haitians are going to be upset. It's like, y'all want the people them know you don't. We're not taking sex offenders, we're not taking violent offenders, and we're not taking Haitians. You see what you're lumping the people with,
right.
And you expect them to be happy.
Automatically categorize them in that,
exactly.
that group.
And then you're upset because there are people who are living in St. Kitts who have chosen not to defend the position. Well, if I don't agree with the position, how am I going to choose to defend it?
Yeah.
Now, in my mind, if you are telling us that you can take... The Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis did not say this, but I have heard the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the Prime Minister of Dominica, and Antigua. They said that they have total control. So they can decide, well, we'll take Novian, but we're not going to take
Right hand.
Right? They have said that. They have the power to choose who can come and who can't come. So why not Haitians? Because if you can determine that, this Haitian is okay, well, that Haitian should be able to come. People are saying, oh, well, Haiti is big and they're gonna overwhelm the system. One or two ain't gonna overwhelm the system, and whether they're from Haiti or Trinidad, it's still the same one or two.
Yeah.
So what is the difference? What is the argument really?
I honestly don't know. To me, it's one of many blunders that this administration continue to make because, like you rightly said, understanding what's going on in Haiti right now, I believe that special consideration should have been given. Because they need somewhere to go. And we heard the comments by Trump before he was elected when he said how they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. Yeah. There's a certain level of racism in this policy. So I would think that you would want to help whoever. And for me, I would have, because, well, it goes back to, and having conversation with my constituents, we debated this. The same question that was asked. Well, which CARICOM nation that is not accepting their folks? Mm-hmm. So, is Antigua accepting their people?
Well,
Trinidad, Barbados?
But how will Antigua not accept their people when they're accepting other people?
Correct. So, let's get to the bottom line of it. If all the Caribbean nations are accepting their people, then which Caribbean nation are not accepting their people that are willing to come here, that we have control over? And based on where the argument is going, it seems as though it's Middle Eastern persons who they might want to bring in.
But the Prime Minister said it's CARICOM nationals.
Yes,
but not just Middle Eastern.
The question that is unanswered is which CARICOM nation that is not accepting their folks. But then that would suggest that nobody come in. Well, then I guess nobody come in. And then back to the same point. I heard it is a one-time payment of $5 million, allegedly.
Well, I can't substantiate that.
Well, I don't know. That's what I said. It's alleged that is what it is. Mm-hmm. Now, in bringing, let's say, 1,000 persons into St. Kitts, who are they? What is the age range? Do we have control over the age range? Is it?
But the prime ministers of the other countries say that they have complete control.
Hold on, stick a pin. If they're dumping the rejects out here, you don't have much.
Don't call the people rejects.
Okay, hold on. No. Let me go back and say it a little better. If you are throwing people out of America,
yes.
If I say, well, send all the engineers, and Antigua say, well, send all the medical doctors, and the other country say, well, send all the nurses, and somebody say, well, send all the football players, because I want some football players. Where are the old folks going to go? We are the older ones that you don't want in America on your healthcare system. So
because there was a man.
America would not allow you to select or pre-select who you want to come out of America.
There was a man from Jamaica who was deported to Africa, I think, 2 weeks ago. Because they're just sending you anywhere, you know.
Right. And how old was he?
Probably close to 60.
Okay.
In his late 50s.
So, when you get those, let's say you get 1,000 people max, where they're going to go? In the health centers? In the schools? Where are you going to put them? Let's say it's families. Or let's go back and say they're older folks. Can our healthcare system that is already strained handle an additional 1,000 people that need urgent care? No. Let's say there's young people or families. Can our school system provide for those additional 500 children spread around the country? Can their parents find work? They're going to live in a health center for all this time? What about privacy? What about getting them into? Who can pay the rent? Who can pay the rent? We're going to build houses for them. $5 million is about 13.5 million EC dollars. That could build 45 houses. 45 low-income houses at $300,000. Can 1,000 people live in 45 houses? When we in St. Kitts currently is struggling for housing, can our grid or infrastructure deal with those people? No. What is in that for us? At the end of the day, we go into hoops, we're bending backwards, we're back flipping and we're kitty catting and we're doing all the different antics to please America and to please all these people. And as you say, I could understand to a certain extent why. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, for what? What the people of St. Kitts and Nevis would benefit from that? Where is the benefit for us here? I could understand the benefit for America. Trump might be a racist or might be whatever he wants to be.
And my problem with the policy is exactly that.
How would it benefit Kittitians and Nevisians? How would it benefit St. Kitts short term and in the long term?
My problem with the policy is exactly that. Because the U.S. has a huge economy, a lot of land space.
They could print their own money.
You cannot absorb these people because I guess they're too black. Because it's black people. Let's face it.
Mm-hmm.
It's black people and people who are close to black. They're deporting, right? So if you can't absorb these people, why the Caribbean must absorb them? You don't want them. For whatever reason, you don't want them.
Listen.
But we must absorb them. And I don't have a problem with immigration. I don't. I really, 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 really don't at all. Because I understand the need to move at times for various reasons. But this racist policy, I cannot stand behind.
Listen, something I gotta take one for the team, and I'm asking, what is the benefit to St. Kitts and Nevis with this whole policy? And the other thing, I just saw something while I was sitting down outside. It says St. Kitts and Nevis already welcome a large Haitian community. That's one. It reached its limit in housing, healthcare, and social services. So if it has reached its limit with housing, healthcare, and
Where's that from?
Somewhere on one of the Labour pages, I found it.
Okay.
And the decision reflects national capacity and responsibility. Solidarity with Haiti remains strong and unchanged. So if we have reached our capacity with the few that they have let in, why are we still looking for more?
No, we're not looking for more Haitians.
Not Haitians.
We're still looking for other people.
Oh, we're looking for other people, but not Haitians. So if you bring in a couple more Haitians, it can overwhelm the system.
And you can't understand why that is offensive.
Exactly. It should be.
You can't understand
Every
why
day,
it's offensive.
somebody new speak about St. Kitts in a bad light based on that one statement. It is offensive.
And they're upset. And they want us to join with them to defend. Me ain't defending nothing because it is offensive.
You know.
And you realize when you're saying that you're accepting only CARICOM nationals. Okay, cool. Maybe that might sound good, man. But you realize there are countries in the Caribbean that are not part of CARICOM. So we're not accepting no Cubans. Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
So we're not accepting no Cubans.
No.
Oh.
So, when you
A country that has been so good
yes
to us.
yes, and continue to be good to us, yeah.
Just asking.
And they had countries that had to send back the Cuban. I believe Antigua sent back all the Cuban doctors in order to retain the visa.
Because of Trump policies.
Right, and you had to send them back because it was human trafficking. What do you call?
What
sending-
America do? What do you call what America is doing? If I am going to kidnap people, because let's face it, they're kidnapping people, they're taking up people off of the street, taking people from school, one person told me that her daughter is sick and she went for treatment and they took the daughter, right? She in the US, she doesn't have a green card. She getting treatment because she can't get a treatment here, and they arrested the daughter and she's on the list to be deported, right? And I shouldn't say here because the person is not from here. But, so she's on the list to be deported. What you call her? And then you're going to take her, and let's say that the country where she's from decides that they can't take her, you're going to send her to Africa.
Yeah.
What do you call that? Like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it human trafficking?
Yep.
And we're supposed to just sit down and accept these policies.
And that's what I said. There is no spine. There is no backbone.
But Nobel, I understand, and I understand the position that the Prime Minister and the government,
Listen.
I understand their position, because say one, say two. If we get a list today that says that Kittians and Divisions could no longer go to the United States because they did not accept A or whatever, Kittians going to rise up. You know that. So it's like, but Nubia, it's the reality.
Listen, sometimes you have to stand for something.
Yeah, but at
hold
the
on.
end of the day...
My point is access to America sufficient reason enough?
That is a question for the electorate.
For us to tank our small economy here. We are already, you know what the deficit is? I heard it in Parliament just a few weeks ago. To date, almost $1 billion, 700 and something million dollars in deficit. We have spent over $5 billion thus far, and only one double salary.
You remember?
Only one double salary keep.
You remember?
There is no school, there is no hospital, there is much road activities happening right now. So if we are already struggling, when we take how much people are we going to get, nobody can say. If you had total control over it, then you would be able to say, based on my population size, based on my land size, based on what's going on with my economy, I can only take 300. I can only take 300.
So let me ask you this.
Taking that 300, then how would you support that endeavor? You don't want them up there, and you're forcing me to take them. So how would you help me maintain these persons while they are here until they get on their feet? What about housing? What about school?
But the Prime Minister did say that they're covering the cost, that the United States government will cover the cost. He said that.
What is to cover the cost?
I don't know.
And that is part. They always talk about transparency. Where's the transparency there? How much have you calculated each person to carry? If you can't, let's say it's an 18-year-old child that you're deporting. You're covering the cost until when? Until the 20? Until the 25?
Until they get on their feet.
And then what?
They're on their feet, so they control their own costs.
Suppose
they cover their own costs.
If it's a family of 4, mother, father, 2 children.
Well, until the mother and father get on their feet, and then they would cover their costs.
I don't like it at all.
No, let me ask you a question. A serious question, right? Do you think, and I'm asking you as a politician.
Not as your friend?
No.
Okay.
We ain't got no conversation as no friend on the ear.
All right. All right.
But do you think that Caribbean politicians, today's Caribbean politicians, because people change over time based on the situation, do you think that they are in a position to say no to Trump?
Collectively, yes.
But we see that collectivity has fallen. because we don't see Kamala pull herself out of the mix.
Correct.
Right? We see somewhat of war of words between she and Gaston Brown, right? Where Gaston Brown saying, well, the same stick that hit the unruly goat hitting the tame one, like, right? So we see that division. And I think from the beginning that Trump really, from the time he took office, he really tried to destroy CARICOM. Because right now, CARICOM is looking very, very weak.
Listen, Trump would not get Denmark.
Not Denmark, Greenland?
Greenland, sorry.
Sure?
He would not get Greenland. He would not get Greenland. And that European movement right now would send a message because Denmark is not on their own.
But you know something? You know the difference between the European Union and Caribbean leaders? You know the difference?
What, they don't need Trump?
One white and one black. One grouping is white and one grouping is black. And Trump has shown that he has no respect for black leaders.
And no limits either, because first he threatened the visa in Antigua. You have to send back the Cubans because it's human trafficking and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. At this point in time, he's still threatening the visa. So his threats are never ending.
And it's a similar situation with the EU and our CBI program, because every few weeks they come up with a policy change. We go to Parliament, we change the legislation, we put things in place, we put safeguards in place, and then they come back, oh, that is not good enough, you need to do this, or you need... In my mind, they're never going to stop, because it's an imperialist kind of mentality. It's like we have the power, and how dare you black people don't dare feel like you could run on your own show.
And so, as I say, he said, get rid of the Cubans, who has not only been good to us here in St. Kitts, but good to Antigua and Antiguans also.
How many Cubans are in St. Kitts now?
I don't know.
How many? I'm talking about medical professionals working with the medical brigade.
I don't know.
Hardly any.
Well, as I was saying, get rid of the Cubans and we take away your visa.
You think that's
you get rid of the Cubans, now take some deportees that will take away your visa. And so it's
and then
always...
take the deportees, but your visa's still gone.
Exactly. And so it's never ending. And at some point in time, it has to stop you. I have to make you feel that threat that you're threatening me with can't stand. And people here must be able to understand that at some point in time, because you can always assume that submissive role, that anything I tell you to do, you gotta do it,
but
otherwise...
But we have seen, and our politicians are not stupid. We may feel like they know what they're doing, but they know what they're doing when it comes to certain things, because we have seen real examples where politicians had to pay for that ideology, had to pay because they stood up to U.S. imperialism. These politicians today are putting their life over for the country, you know?
But at some point in time, it gotta be country above self.
Yeah, but when you see what happened in Grenada in 1983, when you see what happened on January 3rd in Venezuela, right? You really think Caribbean politicians right now want... You know what was funny to me? Or not funny, haha, but funny. Skerritt for Dominica. You remember he said that he wanted to be mediator between the U.S. and Venezuela? Next week, visa gone. Visa access gone for Dominica. It's like these people don't... You feel like, oh, but I am respected. And what? They respect you.
But listen, why is there so much emphasis on a visa access?
Because our people love to go to the States. That is why. And that is what they're holding over us. And we're not self-reliant. We go to the States for everything. For me, I don't need to go.
We go to the States to spend our money and boost the U.S. economy.
Yeah, but we don't see it like that. When they take away access, it's like we're going to die. And you know that is how our people think, and not just here. We heard it from Kamala when she told the people, listen, you know how much people in Guyana, in Trinidad have visas? Y'all ain't going nowhere else. Y'all ain't going over there. Y'all going to the U.S. Sit down, be quiet, and behave.
That's
the mindset.
That's terrible.
Sit down, be quiet, and behave. Last week when the document came out, when the news item came out about the visa, the loss of visa access for immigrants. Yeah. Somebody was up here, I ain't gonna call the person name because it was a private conversation and I don't try to divulge private conversations on the air. And you know what that person said? And this is somebody who is a strong person, so a revolutionary kind of person. And you know what he said? Oh, you think that Trump not on social media? He's seen all what y'all saying about him. And they're like, and? So what you want us to do?
Yeah.
Like, what you want us to do? You want us to muzzle ourselves?
Listen, it is not an honor for me to go to the United States of America. As I said, when I go to the United States of America,
it's a necessity.
I go, it ain't even a necessity. I go to America and I spend money. I boost the U.S. economy.
Yes.
I'm an engineer. I buy stuff out America to boost the U.S. economy. That's what I do as an individual. You understand? And so I'm an asset to the United States of America. So why I have to act like a servant? Why I have to be subservient? Why I have to act like a slave? Why I have to act like I don't know my worth and my value? I know my value to the United States of America. I am one person. And in projects and in other things, I spend thousands of dollars sending money to America. I know my worth. I know my value.
Yes, but then how do you have the conversation with the people who do not have that same mindset? And you have to come to the realization that the people ain't got that mindset regardless of what they want to go. They're not going to sit down and say, oh, we don't care. Me know, because of my perspective when it comes to certain things. And then you have to understand that your perspective may be different because of your experiences. Right? Everybody had that experience when they're small. They said they want to go to New York. You realize they love to go to New York? They want to go to New York.
And that is what, when you go to the table, you need to say what you're bringing to the table. Hey, my country is this and my country supports your economy in this way. We spend more money in America than America spends in St. Kitts. And that's a fact. So, what is in it for us? When you take away your visa, what do you think you're doing me?
Yeah, but no man wanted to. That's a point. But the population is so small that even though we're spending, when you think about it, when you compare it to other countries, what we're spending is not a lot.
Correct.
So they don't care to lose it. They don't care.
But you must
As a
be
matter
able
of
to...
fact, you really think they care to lose your black money? How many people they're deporting and contributing to the U.S. economy?
But you see, most of the persons up there, I guess they're looking at it, well, they're getting, what, food stamps and the Obamacare and the public this and on the public that.
A lot of them are not.
And if we get rid of them, then it's more jobs for Americans.
Because I was speaking to somebody just last night and they said that, I can't remember the place, but they're like, when you go to certain business places, there are no lines anymore. Because if I know that I am undocumented, me ain't going to these places for you to lock me up.
Right.
So people are staying inside. So it is affecting their economy, but they don't care. It's like, get them out because they're eating the cats and the dogs, according to Trump.
And even so, if you look at the cultural difference, this is our next constituent talking with another constituent day before yesterday, and he was saying, because we come from Mullen Avenue together, and they had a group of persons who lived in McKnight, and I could recall my parents having that conversation because we had a lot of cats in the yard, and when you can't find the cat, you would hear my parents say, I can't believe someone say eat the cat, when she can't find the cat, he eat the cat. Debbie, he eat the cat. He eat the cat. I don't know, he don't go back where he come from, he eat the cat. And so there are those cultural differences that, and I could remember even, I won't call the country name, and it's not Haiti, it's a bit further down, and certain time during the week, like on the weekends and so, they would catch a couple of cats from on campus and they would eat them. Caribbean people. No, we ain't accustomed to that. We ain't accustomed to eat cats and dogs. So there's a cultural difference. For them, it's okay, and that it is, oh yeah, let's catch the cat. We might catch a fowl or two or barbecue it and what's not. So there's that cultural difference that we're not accustomed to. We might need to get accustomed to it, but I don't know how feasible that would be.
We need to get accustomed to that.
But there's that cultural difference. You have a whole set of people coming and we allow the cats and the dogs to roam the street. And they would even be friendly enough to walk up to you.
Sometimes, right, I listen to people in St. Kitts complain about Trump's policy as it relates to immigration and deportation and all of that, right? And a lot of us upset and we sit down and we say, oh, he just this, he's racist, he this and he that. But I'm going to be honest with you, right? This past week, when I've read the comments on Facebook about people coming here, we got the same ideas as Trump, A lot of us have the same ideas as Trump,
Listen, let me tell you something. I saw a guy do an interview. He was interviewing a lot of people going into a supermarket. Well, he walked started from outside and ended up in the supermarket and asking people, oh, how you think the president is doing? And sometimes 3 out of 10 people, because he do it in small series, on TikTok and Facebook and everything, so it can't be like an hour too long. Most of the Americans, most of the white Americans.
That's what they voted for.
That is exactly what they voted for.
Yeah.
And the was it the chancellor? Somebody had to identify to Trump that his grandparents were from Germany.
Oh, they had to identify that to him?
Show him.
Trump sleeping next to a wife who is not American.
Exactly.
Let's start deal.
Right. And so most white Americans feel that way. And that's why me personally don't like to go to America. Most of them feel that way about us.
Yeah, but most Kittitians feel that way about people who are not from here as well. And that is the sad reality. And it is offensive when you read some of these comments from Kittitians, black people, because I've said this before, that Kittitians don't really have a problem with immigration. They have a problem with black immigration. So if you're coming from Jamaica, Dominica, anywhere where you're black, Haiti, they want you here. But if a white man, they're ready to dig the Chinese or the Indians either. But a white man comes and says, hey, even gonna money. He comes to St. Kitts and he says, I want to build a house. We go and we show him all the best spots. We show him all the best views because he's white, so he has to be right. And something has to be wrong with us as a people with that mentality. Because how I gonna be upset that, how I gonna be on Facebook telling an Antigua shut up because they're from here? But if a white man talk, not a soul go tell him hush.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to tell him hush.
It's a whole shift in mindset, how we think, how we operate, how we view ourselves, how we value ourselves. We need a wake up. And I would have really liked to have a conversation with Kennedy Simmons, Sir Alphonse Simmons, and Bratcher to hear what they would have done in a situation like this. As past leaders...
Well, we can't invite
Bratcher, but we could have... I would make an attempt and see what they would have done, because it's heartbreaking, the situation that we are in, where we have to accept everything because of what? To access your country where I know I am not welcome.
Because the people of the population today and the population of the 80s.
Correct.
Because we don't have them kind of revolutionaries anymore.
And that was my point. What would one of those revolutionaries do at this point in time? And that is important. I said, we have lost our spine, we have lost our backbone, we have lost the right to lead this nation. If you can't make a simple decision like that, where I come in and saying, Jamie, I gotta be able to put my trash in your yard, and you see them people that out there helping you, you gotta run them. Why I gotta run them? Would America send doctors down there in that same brigade to help Antigua?
You saw.
So they're not getting any doctors, and you had to send away the doctors that you had because they don't like it.
And now we
you
have
gotta
to
accept
go.
the refugees because they don't like it. And when would that bullying stop? When would our leaders here in St. Kitts, when would our Prime Minister had to be able to say, hey, hold on there, you don't ask for 6 things, I don't give you them. You're still asking for more, and up to now, may ask you for one thing yet, and you have not offered anything to date.
You know how many attempts have been made on the life of Traore? That is what our politicians are looking, they're willing to die. That is what they're looking at. They are afraid, and not just, and maybe that's an extreme comment, but they are afraid, and I don't see any Caribbean leader. You realize all of them quiet now? Even the ones who used to stand up and speak out, you realize they ain't got nothing to say now? They have just decided, listen, we're going to just bide our time. Today is the first anniversary since Trump was inaugurated, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to just hope for the next 3 years to move by quickly. And, yeah.
And you see, it happens because we don't build up ourselves and our own. Like, it bothers me, the state of our agriculture sector, where we still have boats from other places coming here. We still have container loads of stuff coming out all about the place. And we won't give our farmers real opportunities. It bothers me how we have the youths them walking up and down the street, and we won't give them those opportunities to fully develop their skill and their craft. It bothers me how our entertainers go and struggle morning, noon and night, and we don't get those opportunities. But we're quick to bend
Sports
and listen, every sector
Education.
can't understand it.
We just can't
Can't
and then
understand
our
it.
only real resource is our people, and we're discarding them.
Yeah. We don't give. Listen, and me and Motley is one too, which I kind of like how
She gone quiet too.
Well,
When was the last time you heard her stand
after you're
up?
out there talking on your own and struggling on your own, I mean, how much more talking you could do? Because, like, she went and got, how much grants would us get around here? Meaningful grants where you could say, yeah, I'm going to do some expansion and do this, and I'm going to do this for my people. From your heart. Go out. Fight for your people. I've heard stories about the past Labour administration from Bradshaw and Southwell and all them guys, what they did, from Kennedy Simmons and Billy Herbert, and what they did to push St. Kitts to a different stratosphere. What do we have now? Nowadays, what do we have? We have a whole bunch of yes man. A whole bunch of yes man that has no intestinal fortitude. They ain't got no guts. They ain't got none of the other. They ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing. They're lost as to the full concept of what leadership should be. At some point in time, Jamie, you would have to be able to say, hey, hold on, what is in all what you're doing, what is in it for me? Like, for me, if I was Gaston Brown, when you say, look, you got to send back all them Cubans because it's human trafficking. Human trafficking? Well, me human trafficking. I asked for some assistance. Cuba gave me some assistance. So you want me to send them back? I'll send them back. But you got to be able to double. You got to be able to, if you want me to send back 20 Cubans, you got to be able to send me 40 Americans down here to help out with my healthcare crisis that I have here in Antigua. You want me to send back the engineers? Okay, cool. You're going to supplement that loss that we're facing here right now? how my actions would benefit St. Kitts and Nevis. That is what I was elected to do, to make sure all my actions can benefit my nation at the end of the day. You want me to accept all your deportees? How would that move benefit regular Kittitians and Nevisians? Otherwise, we ain't doing it. Otherwise, we're not doing it. That's what you're there for.
Let's take a commercial break.
Let's take a little commercial break. That's right. And then
And
the
Chanto
lines.
is here. January 25th at Kim Collins Athletic Stadium, Bird Rock.
Watch the fastest legs and loudest voices from high schools across St. Kitts and Nevis battle for glory.
Grounds just $10. Medal stands $25. Kim Collins stand $50.
Get your tickets now at Harper's, Island Flavors, Cara Brewery Drinks Depots, and participating schools.
Giant Malt Relay Championships and Chantoff. Fuel the competition.
Reliable, dependable, Delta. If you live here in St. Kitts and your tank on E, there's only one place that you should be. Maybe driving in Nevis and you need some fuel. Go straight to Delta. Don't be a fool. Get your cooking gas fast. All petroleum needs ULSD. Everyone in the region is shouting, Go Delta. Premium gasoline in a fully stocked C-store. So there's only one place you should be. Delta Petroleum, baby.
Every day we're faced with choices: to spend or to save, to delay or to stay on track. It's discipline that shapes our future, because discipline means making the choice today that pays off tomorrow. Remember, discipline, choice, pays. A message from the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Have you heard that Mind, Body, and Soul is back?
Yes, Mind, Body, and Soul is back on Sundays at 4 p.m. only on Freedom FM, hosted by the inspiring Julie Charles. This is your go-to show for thought-provoking and uplifting conversations. Every Sunday, dive into topics that nourish your mind, body, and soul. From wellness tips to personal growth to deep conversations, Julie brings you the stories that inspire change and spark reflection. Don't miss out. Tune into Minds, Body, and Soul on Sundays at 4 p.m. and let Freedom FM guide you to a more balanced and inspired life. Minds, Body, and Soul on Freedom FM Sundays at 4 p.m.
What if your money did more than sit in an account? What if it built dreams, supported families, and empowered futures? At St. Kitts Credit Union, we're more than a financial institution. We're a family that believes in your potential, rooted in people helping people. Enjoy competitive savings rates and low interest loans for mortgages, vehicles, education, and more. Need security for you or your loved ones? The Family Indemnity Plan and Loan Protection Insurance give your loved ones peace of mind, whether you're saving for school, building your business, or planning for tomorrow. SKCU is here for you. It's not just about banking, it's about belonging. Contact us at 465-2272 or any of our branches. Learn more online at www.skccu.com. Become a member today and be a part of something greater.
We are back. It's 2:28. We have a half an hour 32 minutes to be exact to take your calls, and lines are going crazy. But for those of you who want to contribute to the conversation, you don't know the numbers to call in. They are 662-1065, 465-6474, or 465-0546. Let's take the first call. Good afternoon. Welcome to Hot Topics.
Good afternoon, Jamie.
Good afternoon, sir.
Obian.
Yeah, man. Good afternoon.
And get straight to the point. I don't think they're going to have grids uprising this Saturday. If it's going to be held next Saturday, do you all know what next Saturday is?
No,
next
you tell
Saturday,
us.
Next week Saturday is going to be 50 years since the Right Honorable Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw read the proclamation to acquire with sugar lands. I was just speaking of the same man, you know. We were self-sufficient with our own ground food. I could give a full description of this. My mother used to sell. I used to go down the market, only bananas, plantain, and mandarin. The Dominica boat used to leave right here on St. Kitts. And oranges. Back then, how it was like, and then again, you know, could be the 28th of this month, the next anniversary, you know, the Buckley, the poison I just spoke to. Then we had a period in time, we had 13-week strike. Kitty Shun survived 3 months. They feed themselves. A man when they tried to break the strike and he get his house burned down, you know. That's how resilient we was back then. We was the amount of food we used to produce. And then again, he had an area, wrong gate area. We used to refer to the agricultural belt. Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw this man was more than a genius. The man used we land, make money, took care for we land, no. And he went further to, you know. He went and he acquired 51% shares in cable and wireless for we the people too, you know. He went and he bought X amount of estate for Navy Jones too, you know. Speaking about agriculture, since 1999. I was arrested for selling my own gun food in 1991. Rallying with Labour. Normally I go up with Labour. Rallying with Labour, 1999 now. We had a peppers going in Canada because they couldn't put their hand in the cookie jar. We ended up losing the market. So then what's going on? We own black people, leaders, committing a lot of crime. And the authorities are called the police defending them. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tweed.
Yes, man.
Thank you so much for your contribution. The numbers to call in are 662-1065, 465-6474, or 465-0546. Let's take this call. Good afternoon. Oh, we missed that one. In the meantime.
And to that point, that is what I was saying. If you're taking and you're allowing America to do what they want, but America said, well, they're going to rebuild all our schools and hospitals and our infrastructure here. I could understand that. Help out with farming, I could understand that. But you're doing that there for nothing?
Let's take this
Good
call.
afternoon, caller.
Oh, we missed that one. Let's try this. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jamie.
Good afternoon, sir.
And Lubian.
Yeah, good afternoon, brother.
Why are you so afraid to say that the leaders weak? They're weak.
He said
they're not like Robert Bradshaw. All of them weak. All the leaders around the Caribbean, they're weak. They're standing up for nothing. Look how they got them. Look at the very one what he do to us. A travesty. Sign that thing, that deported thing since in September. All the CARICOM leaders signed when they went to the United Nations meeting. And this worthless fellow hide it from us. He worthless.
But I'm saying
you don't do that to a country. You think if you put yourself there, we want for you put you there. If the people put you there. But let her go ahead, man. The expired date come in. If you think you're bad, call it like me a month, you know. That's a strong woman. You see how strong woman be? You see how strong woman be? We want to know Lubian and Jamie. Why did you pack up so much money going to give the Marriott and then paying us the hotel room tax? Poor people around the island can't even get a loan out of development bank for $500. Why are they doing that to the people?
Right.
Why? They're going to tolerate it, you know, because me know what's going to happen. Me know what's going to happen, you know. Me know what's going to happen. You're going to develop anger in the people towards them, you hear? They even in politics.
Yeah.
The anger still there.
All
Me
right,
know that. Me could see it.
Thanks a lot. Yes.
Have a good afternoon.
Yes, thanks for your input. Correct. Yeah, manners.
Good afternoon, you're live.
Good afternoon, Jamie.
Hi, good afternoon.
And Nubian.
Hey, what's up?
Good. I was listening to the Canadian Prime Minister this morning. He was giving a speech in Davos, Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, basically, things are different. And they're not different in a transition way. Okay? In other words, it's going to be permanent. So he's not waiting for the 3 more years when Donald Trump leaves, because he's figuring most likely things would never go back to normal.
This is the new norm.
Right.
Once you start accepting certain things, the thing will change.
Exactly, and as you just said, most of the white folks in America, this is exactly what they voted for.
Yep.
Right? But he said, more importantly, that in response to that, Canada realizes it's a mid-level country, not as strong as the United States, not as weak as us, but that there is something they can do, right? They don't have to just steady here and take it and not respond. And one of the things, two of the things he said they're going to do going forward, have their policies based on principles and pragmatism or practicality, right? Those two things. And he basically said the principles we're going to adhere to are things like supporting the organizations such as the United Nations,
right.
NATO, and so right? And sovereignty, okay? And the sovereignty and not bullying, basically not bullying smaller countries. Okay, and the pragmatism that he spoke about is entering into other relationships with like-minded countries, apart from, and he didn't have to name them, it was obvious, apart from the United States. All right, so and he talked about Asia and the rest of Europe.
But yesterday they did sign a trade agreement with China.
Yes.
And he did say that China is a more reliable partner than the U.S.
Exactly. Okay, and so what I said that to say, we down here should adopt a similar approach.
Correct.
Don't just lie down and take it.
And that's what we do every time.
Well, no, I don't agree.
And it would never stop. Look at the situation. Look at the situation in Antigua. They say, well, get with the doctors from Cuba that helping you out so faithfully all these years, and you got rid of them, and it didn't solve your problem, because now they say, well, take the refugees, and it didn't solve your problem. When the man said, well, we're going to take you off your immigrant visa, he took it still. So at what point in time would it be enough? At what point in time?
At no point in time.
Would it ever be a fair trade?
At no point in time.
Because you sent away your doctors. You got doctors in return. You got assistants in return.
No, they're going to Africa to get Ghanaian nurses.
But you see, but that's the whole
Nonsense.
point. What the response? What I'm suggesting is that Mark Carney, the Canadian Prime Minister, he gets it.
Macron is the French Prime Minister.
Yeah, he had some words for Trump this morning as well.
Yeah.
But Carney is the Canadian one.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that.
But Mr. McMahon, you know the difference between our leaders and them?
Let me hear it.
They're white and we are black. Because black people have this sense of inferiority, right? So we're not going into the room as an equal, because we don't see ourselves as equals. We see ourselves as, we're going to stand up, but they're more powerful than us, that kind of thing. And when you enter the conversation from that standpoint, yes, that is how we are operating.
No, Jamie. That is how they respond now. And that is
but that's what I'm talking about now.
That is always why we're going to always get treated like this.
And we're saying the same thing. That is what I'm talking about now, because we know that our leaders of the past, they weren't like that. Well, some of them were, but let's not talk about that. But they weren't like that, right? So we have lost a sense of pride as to who we are as a people.
It's not. They'll tell you it's not as simple as that. Okay, but I don't like when we use excuses like, well, we're black and therefore.
No, I'm not saying it's an excuse. I am saying that it is a personality flaw.
Okay.
Because how is it everybody else trying to stand up? Yeah, we understand that, there are other factors at play, right? But they are trying to stand up. But we can't stand up, an entire region, and we can't stand up.
I agree. And not only that, you want to tell me that they can't get it like the Canadian Prime Minister and say, well, hey, the world is going to be different. We have to act differently, okay? And one of the main things we can do, there are things that we can't control. Like, of course, militarily, we can't even get close to them.
Exactly.
But there are other things that we can control. And people mention it all the time, but they don't do anything about it. Like, for instance, our agriculture, fixing our agriculture.
Yep.
Because in the final analysis, that is what's going to sustain us.
And right? I think Mr. Astafan spoke about that a few weeks ago, where he said, we're speaking about building resilience when it comes to climate change. But what happened to geopolitics? We don't want to be resilient in that regard.
But I think it's coming home now, because they realize that what happens out there
too late
affects us,
right?
And I'm saying, and Nubian, I'll challenge you on this one. If we're going to do something differently, you see this Haitian problem, you mean to tell me, just like the crime, how our approach to crime here, we realize it's a national threat, okay? And everybody came on board, okay? It was no party, nothing. It was no Labour Party. They'll claim that, of course. But it's not that. It was finally everybody deciding enough.
The society, yes.
Including the criminals, okay? But you want to tell me that we can't identify this new world order as a threat, and you can't come together with the other parties, including the opposition. And when I say the opposition, not Mark Brantley, because that's a waste of time. He's practically with the government. But other opposition elements to say, listen, this is an existential threat that we're facing. We've never had this kind of in-your-face threats before. And let's come together and decide on since we have a common threat, how are we going to deal with it? But no, you're going to have this attempt to put party politics into it and, make yourself look good, check your image and those kind of things. That's nonsense. That's fool. That is how we used to do things in the past, and we can't continue to do things like that.
And that is what is killing us as a people.
Yes.
Because we do not approach issues based on our value system.
Right.
We approach issues based on what the political party has said. I saw somebody I saw somebody make a point yesterday about flip-flopping. No, I don't feel that I am flip-flopping if a particular party, let's say the Labour Party has a position. Okay, the Labour Party has this position now when it comes to the deportees. My Nubian is elected next election and he has this policy, right? I would be against him for the same policy because I am against the policy, not the party.
The policy, exactly.
Right. May I understand how that is flip-flopping? How could that be flip-flopping?
Not only that, Jamie, but they'd have you to kill because you don't support.
Exactly. And they want to force you to accept certain things. Like, no.
They can't force you to accept something that is wrong.
No.
They know the policy is wrong and they want to say,
all of a sudden,
you're unpatriotic.
With this conversation of surrounding the Haitians, I'm now seeing an article that has surfaced about Team Unity deporting Haitians. And I'm like, well, why is this part of the conversation? Because it was wrong then and it's wrong now.
And it can still be wrong now?
That to do with no?
Exactly.
That is the ridiculous
because we like to twist the party politics into it, right? And that has nothing to do with it.
Yes, right is right and wrong is wrong.
Right.
Okay?
Stealing was wrong, then it can wrong now.
Of course.
No, we only stealing only wrong when it's somebody you don't like stealing.
Right.
If it's your brother stealing, you're happy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. But it's not only at the national level that we have to be unified and find some kind of consensus to face the common threat. It's also at the sub-regional level with the different OECS countries and the regional level with CARICOM. Because what has been happening, if you notice, is that we stay here, the prime ministers stay there and start throwing barbs at each other about whose policies prevent the U.S. from coming at them. And that's nonsense. The U.S. is not going to look after its own interests. It's not going to be concerned with your individual policy in the islands. We want you to do as you say.
And you got to be able to bring that to the table. Otherwise, they would never bring it to the table for you. And that's the same question I asked. How does St. Kitts benefit in all of these meaningful conversations and meaningful negotiations? St. Kitts does not benefit there at all. There's no benefit for St. Kitts, nor Kittitians, nor divisions.
Let's take this call. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Jamie, you're using the word migration. I think it is the wrong word we are using to refer to this situation. Migration is people moving from one place or another to settle, mostly permanently. This is a case where people who America seem unfit for their society is being shipped in. It is deportation.
So you didn't hear me say that it's human trafficking? I didn't use migration when speaking about deportation.
No.
I did not use migration when we spoke about that.
I did not say migration. I said immigration.
I did not use immigration either. I said it is human trafficking. Nobody and I want to say.
Yes, that's exactly what you said.
You use the word human trafficking. Hear me. The first people, we out here are evidence of human trafficking. We were kidnapped, brought across the Atlantic and sold. Mm-hmm. We are the first people for human trafficking. Listen to what I'm saying, though. I'm saying, okay, let me take it back. Immigration is people moving from one place or another, probably to settle permanently. Mm-hmm. We are dealing with a case of deportation, where people are sent out of a country that does not deem these people fit for their country into actually back to their country or whatever, some other designation. My point is this. There are ways to say no. I am taking it from this point. Nubian mentioned infrastructure, healthcare, school. I would mention water, ration, electricity, and parts on ration. I would also mention security, where, we got a number of unsolved cases still. I'm saying, though, the continental United States fits within or are among the three largest countries in the world after Russia and Antarctica. They're both within 10 million square kilometers. Across the United States, it's 2,525 square kilometers. It takes 8 days to travel across and 8 to 12 days, 7 to 10 days to travel the length. To go around St. Kitts Nevis, St. Kitts, it takes 35 to 40 minutes. St. Kitts is 5 miles wide. Follow where I'm going.
Yeah, we understand the size comparison.
So what I am saying is this. A person with a 1,000-room house is asking you to accommodate who they refuse in their house to fit in your little corner of one room in their house.
Mm-hmm.
The disparity and the load on your society, the burden, the match too hard. We are not, I have no problem with the U.S., their policies and Trump. I am saying for ourselves, where are we going to fit these people? How are we? Maybe they didn't tell us how much money they get in. Maybe that is something that they need to come out with. What I am saying, if we are negotiating, let us negotiate sensibly. Let us show the disparity. St. Kitts Nevis is 261 square kilometers. We are the smallest independent, the smallest federation in the world. The burden on the society, it is unjust for anyone to force me to take in my little space. What, when you have, actually, you can designate a space within the continental United States to accommodate the people then that you are sending to St. Kitts.
Okay, Carlo. We understand your point.
Is a way to say no. The disparity, it can't work the max to high.
Right.
Okay,
Thank
Carlo,
you for your
thank
input.
you for your contribution. Let's move on. Good afternoon. You're live. Can you turn down your radio, please?
Yes, it's down. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Nubia.
Good afternoon,
Yes.
sir.
I listen, and I've listened. I've listened to a lot of what ifs and buts, but I've not listened to what, I've not heard of what the reality is. There was a point made in respect of standing up to the Americans. I want to remind us of 2013, 2014, when it is claimed that we had lost our ease of entry to Canada because of a stance that then Prime Minister Dr. Denzel Douglas took with respect to citizens who were citizens by investment. And we heard how wrong it was.
How wrong what was?
The stance that Prime Minister Douglas at the time took.
Okay.
We heard how wrong that was. I want to ask Nubian. Nubian, are you aware of the first piece of legislation that was passed by Team Unity in our National Assembly here in St. Kitts and Nevis? Are you aware?
No, I'm not.
It's called FATCA.
It's called what, sorry?
FATCA.
It's the most invasive piece of legislation that was passed ever in this country. It was something that the U.S. had in their books since 2010 and was demanding that governments in the Caribbean pass their version. The one administration in the Caribbean that I'm aware of who did not at that time was the Dr. Denzel Douglas administration. Dr. Timothy Harris when campaigning for the opposition, promised the United States of America that should he become the prime minister, he will bring it into law. A few days after he was elected, he was flown to Barbados, to the Embassy of the United States of America, where he signed off an MOU. He said nothing to the people even after that. And then he took it through our parliament and made it a law. So my question then, is it that Dr. Douglas was right not to bring it through our parliament, Nubian, because you say we should stand up? Is it Dr. Douglas who was right and the people was wrong in voting him out? We have to be careful what we are saying.
No, but I'm trying to figure out what you are saying. If you are saying, if what Timothy Harris did, his first piece of legislation that he passed in Parliament, it was wrong. You're trying to say it was wrong then and it's right now? Or it's right now but wrong then?
I didn't tell you it was wrong. I am saying that based on what you're saying, that we should stand up to the United States of America, and this Prime Minister is somehow a weakling and doing the wrong thing for not. Dr. Douglas stood up, and the very same people, including yourself, Nubian, was very critical of him.
Nubian, you were critical of Dr. Douglas at that time?
Of course, Nubian was.
I asked Nubian, not you.
When you're talking about, you mean...
In 2014.
2014?
He was critical of the action. I'm telling you,
Well, I asked him because I want to know.
I don't know. I wasn't even in politics
Austin, I want to know. So I am asking Nubian.
Austin, don't tell
me. Were you critical?
I was not.
Okay.
It's all right.
Austin,
were you critical against Dr. Douglas?
I was not.
Okay. Austin, he was not critical against Dr. Douglas, okay?
You made a point just this afternoon about an article you see surfacing in relation to community reporting.
I did.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said Nubian did.
No,
yeah,
you did.
I did. Yeah.
And what I'm saying to you, you say you don't see what one have to do with the other.
Mm-hmm. May I see it?
But you are saying that...
I am saying...
You made a point earlier,
no,
Jamie, and you said if it's wrong, then it's wrong now.
I want to hear what Austin said. What did I say, Austin?
That this administration is condemning Haitians.
Me, sir?
Ah.
Austin, hearing you, Jane, working good today, you know.
What is that, Austin?
This administration, when Haitians were found,
I said...
accommodated them.
I said that I was against the deportation then, and I am against the policy now. That is what I said.
And I'm telling you, it's a different policy. So let me tell you
whether it's okay. It's not the same policy. I did not say I was the same policy, but I am saying that I was against that policy, and I am against this policy. Okay.
I'm saying you don't know what the policy is now.
I am against the policy of accepting CARICOM nationals and excluding Haiti. That is what I am saying. You're going to tell me no more against?
That is not the policy.
So what is the policy?
The policy is in relation to persons deported from the United States of America.
And I know because that's who that is what we're discussing.
Austin, don't come and tie up my time, you know, Austin. Austin, don't tie up my time.
If you're not going to let me say, well, you don't have to.
Go ahead.
No, say it.
Nobody is stopping you. Just don't tie up my time.
Remember, I don't operate like you where you don't let people talk. So, no, but he said he invite you and you won't come.
Hey, now invite me properly.
Here's what I'm saying.
He said you didn't invite him properly.
This has nothing to do with Haitians traveling to St. Kitts.
Austin, I know. Austin, you're not being stupid. I know.
But then say it.
But I did.
Nobody said Haitians can't travel to St. Kitts.
Okay.
But I did. I said that I am against the policy of accepting CARICOM nationals who were deported from the United States and excluding Haitians. That's what I say.
Yes, and so I'm telling you why now.
Okay.
This is strictly about persons deported by the United States of America. And the main reason why this is so is because persons who we accommodated reached out and contacted smugglers and had themselves smuggled into the United States of America. And the St. Kitts this was deemed to be one of the persons, one of the islands who are facilitating human trafficking. Are we supposed to allow our names to be dragged down by persons who want to reach the U.S. and then turn around, and accept them again as a part of deported from the United States of America for them to do the same thing again?
So we didn't say that the U.S. would be vetting these persons. So you're telling me that the U.S. would send known human traffickers to us? That's what we're accepting?
But if there's known human traffickers, why are they in prison? Why are they not in prison? Anyway, Austin, invite me on your show and we're going to discuss it a little bit more. Thank you very much.
No, Bian.
What you say?
I'll welcome you.
Okay.
Austin.
Okay. Sunday, I'm going to give a shout tomorrow so that we could make preparations for Sunday.
Austin.
Okay.
I think we need to have a conversation, a full hour conversation on this. Cause
we will.
Yes, we will.
Anyway, man, going a conversation with you because you like mix me. Anyway.
I like to mix.
And then when my name end up in Calypso song and all kind of story.
Okay,
Bye.
You're important. Okay.
Yes. All right. All the best.
Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good
afternoon, Sister Jamie. I'm very Nubian.
Yes,
hi, good afternoon, sir. Rascalundry, what's up?
It's very interesting, this discussion. Because Brother Trish said we were the first human trafficking people.
Exactly. And we don't like human traffickers, but we participating by accepting deportees.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. But
let's just put it right there.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you see this policy where they want to send deportees here? Is not an initiative of our prime ministers. That was dictated to us.
We know.
Okay, good. So what I'm saying, it's bigger than just accepting deportees from CARICOM. It's to get rid of black people in America.
We said that too.
Exactly.
Okay, then. So what I'm trying to show you now, right? How is it that we can't accept Haitians when Haiti is the backbone of black people in the Western world?
Man, no, that part I don't know.
Who started the liberation efforts in the whole Caribbean?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because what I'm saying, Haiti is the only country in the world that freed itself from enslavement. And hear what I'm telling you. You see, like,
wait. They didn't only free themselves from enslavement, but they went to the same U.S. and assisted the U.S. to fight against British imperialism.
Thank you,
same
sister.
Haitians.
Thank you.
No, there's the worst.
You understand?
Yeah, they're eating cat and dog.
They're eating the cats and they're eating the dogs.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to show you, all this disinformation about Haitian people and doing badness. They ain't tell you that the United States give all the Haiti gold and all the money, and Haiti had to pay reparation to France. You don't hear people talk about that. You see, so what I'm trying to show you now, we're in a hole. I'm not against the opposition criticizing the government or the government putting its policy forward. I'm saying we're in a serious situation. I am calling for to sit down. You understand? I have a plan. We're talking about the movement for national unity, right? The people got to get together. You see how Austin come on and try to impress upon us that this thing was involved in human trafficking. The United States and all the colonial powers brought us from Africa, kidnapped us and brought us here. So what you want to tell me? Some brought white people from South Africa, So even if the people is involved in human trafficking from Haiti, we got to embrace them because our people.
Exactly.
That's the point.
And not only that, but we were told that the United States government would be vetting the people, and we would know who are coming. So if they're vetting the people, they're not sending human traffickers, are they? So none of it make no sense. None.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
At all.
So what I'm trying to show you now, my sister, the situation we're in is a difficult one. Here I'm proposing. How do we get out of the situation instead of attacking one another? You see? I have a plan how to get out of it. I want to hear other people plan. Offer a solution.
Yes.
That's my position.
Yeah. But I do agree with you that we have been placed in a very difficult place. I agree with you with that, right? And I have not been overly critical of the current administration because I understand that they have been placed in a difficult position. Now, does that mean I have to agree with that policy? No.
Exactly.
I could say I agree with the policy, but I understand.
Right.
Why
exactly.
people...
Because what I'm saying, Jamie.
But we don't want us to be able to think. We want us to just
look at the situation. You see how they kidnap Badu, they got kidnap PM Julia. All of that is shut down the banking system. And we got in.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can't feed ourselves. So I'm saying to
and we don't have any oil that they want.
No, probably we can oil, but we ain't now because probably they ain't discovered yet because why made to understand. The whole Caribbean basin have oil.
I mean about that.
Okay then. But what I'm saying to our people now, let us come up with ways how to get out of the situation. Don't attack one another. Because Austin, come on, right? I want to say that Prime Minister Harris had to sign Vatco good. When the last election, when the Haitian them came in, Labour was saying that to come vote, so Timothy had to send them back.
May I remember that either?
Yeah.
I don't remember that either. I remember the administration taking the position to send them back. And I remember speaking out against that too. Because from a humanitarian standpoint, I feel that we all should do everything in our power to help Haiti. That's me feel. I don't know whether Labour encourage hate. I don't know. Me know not about that.
No, but I'm saying when Timothy was in power, he had to send back the Haitians.
I remember he sent them back. I don't know if Labour was the reason why he sent them back.
Yeah, because they said that they come to vote.
Me remember that, but maybe.
But if he says so, then
yeah,
it
is what
I'm
it
telling
is.
You, so what I'm saying to our people, we got done away with that.
Right.
We got to look at our people's interests.
Anyway, Kalunji, we gotta go. We are over.
Yeah, we can just take one last one. I was waiting on Mr. Pemberton to call him because time today, so I couldn't call him today, but unfortunately.
Maybe that was the final call that we just missed, but Mr. Pemberton, we can check you next week.
Yeah. but my thing is that everything we do must have some sort of benefit, whether it be short term or long term for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I don't see how every time there's a little external pressure, bowing and saying yes, master, benefits the regular folks here on the island. I don't see how accepting deportees benefits Kittitians and Nevisians. At some point in time, probably they don't say it, well, get with all your Cuban doctors and nurses.
But that's the point I was making. You see that the dwindling, that's the point that I was making.
I don't see how that would benefit Kittitians and Nevisians. If you say, get rid of them because we're going to send, you used to get 12, we're going to send 24. I could understand that. How does it benefit us? It benefits your narrative.
And really and truly, the U.S. don't contribute anything to us, you know?
That's the point.
Whatever we get from the U.S., we pay for.
That's the point I am making.
We are not getting any preferential treatment.
And so, the only preferential treatment we get is to go to Barbados and get a visa.
That ain't even preferential, they ain't free. We got to pay for it.
You go to Barbados, get a visa, and it is the privilege of you just entering the United States because well and truly we want you here. So, we allow you to come here, and so that is good enough for you. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying that is not good enough for me.
And if you stay a day over, we kidnap you and we send you wherever we feel like sending you.
And I am saying that is not good enough for me because 99.9% acquisitions and divisions when they go to the United States, they go up there, they go by the bank, they take a loan, they got the money saving up for almost 2 years, and they go to America to enjoy themselves, spending thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. For what? Americans don't come down here on vacation and spend thousands of dollars.
At all.
We want to buy the nicest shoes, we want to stay in the nicest hotel, we're getting Uber here, we're taking a lot of pictures up and down the place.
We want eating all the restaurants.
Yes. And what do we get out of that deal? We don't get nothing out of the deal. And you still have to bow every time they call your name. Don't work so.
And say, yes, my son.
You got to establish your value. You must establish your value. And obviously, from recent at a time, the leaders that we have is not establishing value. They go to the negotiation table on their hands and knees. And we want folks to represent us that would go to the negotiation table proud to be a Kittitian, representing St. Kitts and Nevis proudly.
Well, no, and that's where we kind of did. Let's see. I don't like to squeeze in final calls, but we're going to try it. Good afternoon. You're live.
Good day, Sister Jamie and Brother Nobian. Blessed to you and good to the listeners.
Greetings, brother.
How are you guys, guys?
Okay, so far. Fighting the COVID flow, but we're getting there.
Use the herb and just give thanks to the Almighty. The Babylon fighting over the guy. Now, basically, I just like to say something. I find it very obvious that enough of the people are taking some different return to the statement that was made by the Prime Minister of the Federation and even the CARICOM leaders them. I find that the CARICOM leaders them are very weak and they are not very genuine to the people who they say they are representative to. And if you are a CARICOM community, why is it that we're seeing individual approaching something of this magnitude and to collectively bring approach to it so we can unify the well-being of our brothers and stop disregarding the Haitian people, because when you're making statements like this from whatever MOU you state that was handed down by the old thief in cocaine American administration, and you're making it sound like only them have the final say, it's an embarrassment to see you saying you're defending for the well-being of humanity. So I hope that they can move forwardly and be wise in their deliverance towards protecting the well-being of our people.
Okay, Rasaya.
Y'all have a lovely day.
Okay, you too. And pass by tomorrow, okay? We have something to discuss, okay?
Give thanks. Well, I will do. What you're looking at in the afternoon setting?
I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here. In the afternoon, I might be on STU, so better in the morning, okay?
Okay, then. All right, blessed love.
Mm-hmm. No, man, that is where we disagree, because I don't feel that the leaders alone are the problem. I feel that our people have become weak. Because when you look at our leaders, they come from the society, right? Yeah. Our people have become weak. You cannot be the leader of a group of people and take those strong decisions, because they're going to overthrow you. They're going to vote you out, because from the time you take away that visa, the people are going to be upset and they're going to vote you out. They're not going to understand that you were standing up for us. You understand what I'm saying?
You see, for me, it would have been come to the people early and say, look, this is what we face.
Yes, but they ain't going to understand. They're going to say, we visa. And that is the problem. So our leaders are not the only problem. We have to have these serious conversations with our people and tell them, listen, we come from a people who stood up.
Yeah.
Who stood up.
Exactly.
Right? But over
in the face of everything.
But over time, maybe we have gotten too comfortable and we have not had to fight enough.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the problem.
And so,
but we
as I said, for me, it would have been give the people all the options, and when you go to negotiate, you negotiate properly on behalf of St. Kitts and Nevis. Because if you're asking us to do all these things, what are you doing in return for us? How does St. Kitts and Nevis benefit at the end of the day when we're making all these decisions that will affect our homeland?
Yeah. So, guys, tune in
next week
for another lively discussion where we touch on the hot topics of the day. I'm certain that next week this is going to be a hot topic again because this is, the topic that is most trending on social media. You see them TikTok videos? Listen,
exactly.
The Haitians tearing
into St. Kitts.
But
hopefully by next week we see what the European Union does. And the Caribbean can take a page out of that book.
Listen. Anyway, be sure to tune into Hot Topics next week. Tomorrow, right here, same time, we're going to have Issue St. Kitts Nevis, and our guest will be Prime Minister of St. Kitts Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew. So be sure to write all your questions. We're going to take your calls. We're going to ask him about this issue as well, right? So be sure to stick and stay with Freedom FM.
And Chant Off is here January 25th at Kim Collins